when Shannon, Shane, and Evan, and Jamie, and Kaz, and me, we just wanted to go out there and have the best match on the card. Like, whatever that we had to do, like, we wasn't like, we didn't get too much direction back in the day when they kind of, like, okay, you guys go out there for, 10, 15 minutes, and y'all do y'all's thing. And they didn't say, okay, we want you to go out there. They did act like that's when the car crash story came, like, at the end of WCW, but before, I think they just like, okay, you kids go out there and do y'all's thing, and really at that time, or even we was pretty low on the totem pole, so they didn't really pay too much attention. So our mindset was like, all right, let's go out there, make some noise, and get everybody's attention, and let's tear this fucking thing up, So that was kind of like that was our mindset. And then, like, when that story about the car crash thing, we had a separate meeting, just all our cruiserweights, and this is when Eric Bischoff came back, and then they said that we were actually going to be the focus of the show for going on forward. We're going to highlight cruiserweights more than the top names that they had at the end. It's like, we're moving forward. We're going to have more focus on you guys, and this is the direction we're going. And 2 months later, a month later, Vince bought WCW. So it kind of wow.
Definitely ruined that, but they definitely were going to give that a big push, because then they made the Cruiserweight Tag Team division. So there was, the Cruiserweight belt, but they also had Cruiserweight Tag Team division. They were bringing on more Cruiserweights. Eventually, AJ Styles does come on board for that. But, right, did you feel, obviously before Vince kind of shocked the world about WCW, but did you feel that they were definitely going in that direction by adding the Cruiserweight tag titles?
Oh, yeah. I thought I had a bright future in WCW. And even I think about it, if it would have continued a few more years, like, I think we definitely would have been in focus of the company, so, like, I was really excited. I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome for us. Like, just, they're going to, we had that meeting, and they told us that we were going to be the focus of the show, and then they bring out the Cruiserweight tag titles. We're having more time on the show. We get to do more stuff. I was like, oh, man, it's going to be awesome, And then everything stopped. So.
Yeah, Vince ends up buying WCW. You end up really, not really with WWF, but more with Heartland, with Les Thatcher, the HWA. Were you expecting to be in WWE, or were you thinking, where they kind of signed us and put us in developmental, but I don't expect to make it to the main roster?
No, I was super excited. Like, even the last Nitro was, like, so surreal. Like, but remember, at that time, I was only 18, 19 years old, so I'm just a kid, but I'm also, like, a huge wrestling fan, too. Like, I've always been a huge, huge wrestling fan. But, like, watching the last Nitro, it's like, oh, my God, this is the most awesome angle I've ever seen in my life. Vince versus Shane. Shane bought the company, and we're going to go toe-to-toe, like, this sounds awesome, like, imagine that angle. Even the invasion angle and all that stuff, I know it kind of didn't work out the way that everybody wanted it to, but, like, we're actually going to do WCW versus WWE, and then that day they say, oh, okay, they signed, I don't know, I can't remember the number, but I think it's like 16 of us. I'm like, okay, who are they going to use, like, the big name guys, they got their guarantees with AOL, and they only have 16 of us, like, it's going to be like, and with the meeting with the Cruiserweights and stuff, I was like, oh, man, it's going to be awesome. Like, this is, like, the coolest angle in wrestling, ever, I think, like, dad versus son, WCW versus WWE, and there's only 16 of us that they signed. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And I sat at home for a few months, and they didn't say anything, and then it's like, oh, Jimmy, just open up developmental in Cincinnati, HWA, saying, we need you to go up there, and you might be there for like 2 weeks or 6 months, but I suggest you to move up there. And I've been here for 18 years now, so,
You liked it.
Yeah, but then they bought WCW. They also bought ECW. And at that time, they only had the one show or the one roster for both shows. You know, so it's kind of that was a hard time to get a spot on there. You know, so I kind of like, oh, this is not looking good. You know, so